What's your name?
Ella.
First time is always hard.
Ella.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I think it's getting fries at Baba Dari. We live close to there, so sometimes we just cruise over. I think they're pretty good.
Matthew.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Listening to Natasha Bedingfield. She's absolutely fire. Because it's not conventional, some old 2000s music. Kind of girly music, but it's fire.
Do you have song recommendation by him? No, her.
Pocket Full of Sunshine.
Andrew.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to scroll through TikTok for hours at a time when I shouldn't be, and I have a lot of work. I have to finish my EECS projects, but TikTok is priority.
I'm Jimin.
What's your guilty pleasure?
When I'm on my diet, I always eat the chocolate pretzel and I feel guilty.
So you say you're on a diet?
Yeah, I'm still on diet right now.
Grace.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Sometimes when I'm about to go to sleep, I end up sleeping with my AirPods on and music on, and it just keeps playing till they die.
What kind of music do you listen to?
At night, usually R&B.
Recommendations for that?
I really like Jimmy Brown right now.
What about the song name?
Heaven by Jimmy Brown.
Have you thought about listening to ASMR when you go to bed?
I personally don't find ASMR very comforting, so probably not.
Omar.
What's your guilty pleasure?
When I go to a party that's really packed and loud, I like to fart and see if anybody hears it or not, and they never hear it, and I enjoy that.
Josh.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to watch videos of people eating food in an ASMR way. I think it's pretty relaxing, but I know chewing sounds aren't really for everyone.
Can you give some recommendations?
There's this one YouTuber I follow. His name's Ajok. I like his stuff. And then there's another one I think called Honeybee, and she's pretty good too.
What's your name?
Pablo.
What's your guilty pleasure?
You know the soap things that you put in the dishwasher, the cubes? They have gel in the front and they have cubes, and you put them in the dishwasher and you close it.
It's like the same thing as the laundry thing.
Yeah, those pods. So I like taking them out and squeezing them and smelling them a bunch. Bro, it smells so good. It does something to me.
Do you know the brand?
Nah, it's whatever you get from Costco, because Costco has the deals, so yeah.
Ashley.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Singing Tiny Dancer in the shower. Just sing it to your heart out.
Wait, that's the title?
Yeah, but Elton John. You don't know that song? Oh my god.
I'll listen to it after.
You should. Best song
Do you have another one?
Hips Don't Lie by Shakira. Gotta do the whole impression.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad.
Levy.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like the TV show Glee.
Why is that?
Because I secretly love covers and show tunes. The music is good.
What's your favorite soundtrack there?
Gosh, I like when they did Moulin Rouge.
What about favorite character?
Kurt.
Why Kurt?
I aspire to be him.
What is he like? I don't know who Kurt is.
The Glee doesn't give them that much emotional character depth. Okay, so he starts out in high school. He's bullied because he's weird and gay. And then he grows into this amazing singer and fashion boy, which is not like me, except for the weird and gay part. So.
Kara.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Maybe romance novels.
Why is that?
I guess they're just an escape. I grew up watching rom-coms with my mom, so it's nostalgic for me.
What's your favorite romance book?
For classics, Pride and Prejudice, but for just a good romance novel, maybe Beach Read by Emily Henry.
Why?
It's just picturesque to just be in the settings of Beach Read is in cottages on Lake Michigan, and then Pride and Prejudice is in the English countryside.
Do you want that to happen to you in real life?
I mean, I want to be a post.
Maddie.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Getting dessert from the dining hall every night.
What kind of dessert do you like from the dining hall?
Ice cream, Dole Whip, cake, anything really.
I'm Kate.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Stealing coffees from the Panera that's right over here, even though I don't have the sip club. I just walk in and I take it and I leave and nobody ever says anything.
Miriam.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like the smell of nail polish.
Why is that?
I don't know, but I realized the other day while painting my nails that it actually smelled kind of good, which is kind of weird because it's not good for you.
What kind of nail design do you like the most?
The French tip. Just a classic in my opinion, but I can't do it myself, so I never do it.
Then what do you think is the worst nail design?
I personally don't like super long nails that have beads or something on them because I just don't think that you can really do anything with those types of nails, but that's just a personal choice, so.
Griffin.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Playing 2K.
2K?
Yeah, NBA 2K. It's a video game.
Is there like a rank system there?
Yeah, if you play like my career, you get overalls.
What's your rank in that?
I'm a 92 right now.
Is that good?
It's alright.
I'm Jin.
What's your guilty pleasure?
After coming home from a long day, I just like to get on my bed and then take my socks off. It just feels cool. It feels refreshing when you take the socks off and just kind of rub it on your blanket sheets.
Do you have smelly feet?
I used to think not, but I went over to my parents this winter break and then they're like, yo, something smells weird. And so they discovered it's actually my foot. You know, I personally still don't think it smells that much, but they had to give me like this weird like odor X spray and now I just kind of spray it once in there.
Do you like the smell of your feet?
Oh, hell nah, bro. Do you?
Sometimes.
I like that.
Audrey.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Watching unnecessarily unhinged recaps of Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars on YouTube.
Who's your favorite character in Gossip Girls?
Blair, because she's cool.
What about in Pretty Girls?
In Pretty Little Liars? I don't really remember the characters. I haven't watched it in a long time.
What's your name?
Avroken.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to eat Oreos after my workouts.
What kind of Oreos?
The dark chocolate variety.
My name is Peter.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Buying Panda Express almost every day.
What's your go-to Panda Express menu?
It's literally just fried rice and orange chicken every single time.
Alan.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Watching YouTube for hours on end in bed all day sometimes.
How long do you watch YouTube every day?
Usually around 3 to 4 hours, just one session, and then suddenly I'm just like, oh, gotta get to work, you know? So.
What did you watch yesterday?
I watched a couple of gaming videos, like the POV videos, like the 1v1 first-person shooter videos.
Do you watch Kaede?
It's the first time I'm hearing of that name.
My name's Hannah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Definitely Panera, specifically the Unlimited Sip Club.
How'd you know about the Sip Club?
I saw like an ad for it on some website and I was like, oh, this seems interesting. And there's nothing better than a fun little drink. Might as well get unlimited ones.
Do you think it's worth it to get a Sip Club?
I think if you're addicted to caffeine like I am, yes. And if you have a Panera in walking distance. Otherwise, no.
What do you usually get with Sip Club?
I get either the strawberry charged lemonade, half that, and half Sierra Mist, or I get an iced coffee.
Amy.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Spending way too much money on coffee. I'm so broke. As a college student, don't really have a lot of money, but I definitely spend way too much money on coffee, like every day.
How many times do you drink coffee every day?
Every day, I would say I buy a cup of coffee from like Starbucks or like Sweetwater's or something, but sometimes I'll make coffee in my dorm, so maybe like 2 cups a day, max.
What's your go-to coffee drink?
Sweetwater's, I usually get the Dreamy Cold Brew, just like sweet cream on a cold brew, but at other places, I usually get an iced mocha.
I'm Gargi.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I really like to go on Taco Bell runs and watch Grey's Anatomy. I'm on season 17 of it.
What is it about?
It's about doctors, but it's just a whole bunch of drama in like the hospital life and the medical field. But it's not real at all.
Do you want to go into medical field?
Absolutely not.
Who's your favorite character there?
There was this character named Calliope Torres, but she's gone now. She's not in any more of the episodes, but she was my favorite.
My name's Rayan.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to watch aquarium videos.
On YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah.
Do you have like a go-to YouTuber for that?
I like this YouTuber called Life in Jars, and he makes a bunch of like jars, and then he like looks at the life in them. Also another one called Fu the Flower Horn. It's about this flower horn fish.
My name's Sohi.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to eat raw hot dogs, those Oscar Mayer sausages, and only the turkey ones, not the pork ones, because I've tried it before, and they don't taste as good if they're not raw.
I'm Megan.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Dance Moms, because I've just been watching it since I was a kid and I love Dance Moms. It's a show about dance and like TV drama. It's like a reality show. Y'all gotta watch it.
Where can you watch it?
Hulu or Lifetime TV.
Favorite character in that show?
Probably Maddie.
Why Maddie?
She's the best dancer on the show.
I'm Henry.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Maybe like fishing, because I don't know, I just sort of like being alone and like reeling in some monsters.
What's the biggest fish you've ever gotten?
I got a big old striper once. It was like 2.5 feet.
Madison.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Binge watching Dance Moms. Gotta support the girls anyway after all the abuse they endured, so at least money's going to them.
Is your favorite character Maddie?
No.
You don't like Maddie?
I don't care enough. I'm not that invested.
Why are you watching that?
Because it's entertaining and a fun way to kill brain cells.
I'm Satvik.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I go to the movies by myself. I think it's very therapeutic.
When was the last time that you did that?
2 weeks ago, something like that.
What movie did you watch?
It's an Indian show. It's called Varisul. It was terrible.
My name is Rashika.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Watching really bad reality TV shows. Survivor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I just like watching the messes unfold. Makes me feel better about my boring life, for sure.
Praniti.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Going to Chipotle every day.
Every day?
Well, almost this week.
Why do you go every day?
It's just really good, but they never have any of the ingredients, so.
My name is Michelle.
What's your guilty pleasure?
When my roommate is out, I like to blast music and basically throw a dance party with the windows open when people like look at me. It's really funny. It's a good time.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for that?
Actually, no. I'm like pretty good at it.
What's your go-to music?
I do a lot of either Hispanic music or Israeli music, which is like so off-brand, but bachata, salsa, good stuff.
Can you name some?
If anyone knows Billy Rubina, or like Suavemente is like so basic, but.
Ilsa.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Definitely watching cake decorating videos, even though I know that I can't eat the cake because I'm cutting right now. It's rough.
Who's your go-to YouTuber?
I like watching like Cake Boss, like the old videos. Do you know that show? It's on TLC. It's pretty good. You should watch it.
What kind of cake do you like the most?
Probably vanilla cake, maybe confetti. I'm pretty simple.
I'm Charlie.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I would say showing anyone that comes over to my house this one YouTube video that I love. It's called The Egg by Kurzgesagt. Totally helped me make sense of my life, and I love it, even if other people don't love it as much as me.
So the whole universe, it's just an egg.
Emma.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Trash reality TV.
For example?
Love Island UK, Love Island Australia, Are You the One, Too Hot to Handle, anything like that. I love the commentary. I love watching hot people do stupid stuff, and it makes me feel a little bit better about my life.
Neil.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like eating, I guess, what people think are weird things. Lamb intestine, bone marrow, sometimes lamb tongue or beef tongue.
Why do you like those?
They taste good. That's like the best explanation. Like people who don't want to try it, they're either being too judgy of the food or they're just not used to it. But me personally, like that's what I was raised with. So like I love eating it.
If people want to get into that territory, what should they try first?
I think most people would probably be most comfortable with the tongue because it's just like eating a piece of meat. But maybe the intestine too. It's kind of like chewy.
Ziad.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I'd have to say eating with my hands.
What do you eat with your hands?
Like rice and meat. Just kind of grab it, you make it into a ball and put it in your mouth. Tastes better that way.
Isn't it normal in India to eat with your hand?
In India and a lot of Eastern countries. So that's kind of why I started to do it.
Do you think it's more comfortable than eating with spoon?
I think it's easier to eat with your hands than a spoon.
Would you recommend it to other people?
I say definitely try it. It's a good thing to try, at least once in your life.
Abby.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I would say like posting on my private story way too much because I do that a lot, but I just like really don't care. So I continue to do it.
What do you usually post on your private story?
Pictures of me and my friends or videos or just random things that I see on campus that I think are funny.
Hi, I'm Kasia.
What's your guilty pleasure?
The Long Islands from Blue Lab.
Why is that?
They're really good, and you don't taste anything.
Megan.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Quoting people.
For example?
When my friends say stupid things, I'll quote it and take a bad picture of them and put on my private story.
My name's Chloe. My guilty pleasure is watching reality TV shows, specifically Love Island.
Favorite cast?
People say season 5, and that one is really good, but the most recent one was really, really good with Gemma.
Gemma. My name is Daisy. My guilty pleasure is that I like Chris Brown.
Why is that?
Because I love Rihanna, and Chris Brown's a Rihanna beater, but his old music just something about it.
Baz.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Going home at 8 p.m. and refusing to touch any of my assignments after that.
What class are you struggling with the most?
Econ 452. It's brutal. Econometrics.
Luke.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Playing with Legos.
Why is that?
It's just been my hobby since I was a kid.
Are you guilty about it though?
I don't know. I guess that's a good question. I'm proud of my hobby, okay? Yeah.
What kind of Lego do you like the most?
Probably Star Wars. I mean, gotta keep it